This episode of Catch The Craze is sponsored by Catch The Crazees on Kickstarter, April 29th. What's up, Crazies? Kickstarter fans, indie comic fans, I got something for you. I have indie creators in the blue room. They're ready to talk to you about their Kickstarters. They either launched it or gonna launch. So if you really love indie comics and you want to support the little guy and see them win, well, here's an opportunity to prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. Check this out. I'm done talking. Now it's time for the indies. Let's start it up. Start it up, y'all. Start it up, y'all. Start it up, start it up, start it up, y'all. What's up, George? Who do we have on tonight?
Today we have our very good friend, Jerre Winsborrow of Pyramid Graphic Novels. And we're going to be talking about his Kickstarter, Seek, which has already been funded. It was funded in 2 hours, dude. So we're going to talk to him about it. And we'll have some fun.
It's time to play hide and seek. Let's get it! Catch the Craze is partnered with NSC Roadshow. NSCLiveTV.com and Inc. Marketing are proud to present the NSC Roadshow podcast tour. As a creator, come to be treated like a rock star as we take you on a tour with podcasters from around the world. Got a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or a project you would like to tell thousands about? Come and get on the tour. Are you a podcaster that would like more creators on your show? Come become a tour stop on the tour. Get it! All right, so...
Here we are.
Here we are. Face to face, a couple of silver spoons.
Wow, that's a good show. That was a good show.
That?
Oh yeah. That was actually Ribeiro, wasn't he on the Carlton?
Yes.
He was on that show.
That's right.
He was on that show.
That's right.
But yeah, welcome everybody to another episode of Catch the Craze Kickstarter edition.
Yeah, it's the Kickstarter edition.
Another one. Supporting our indies, man, and all their Kickstarters that they have going on. We have Jerre Winsborrow today, who we've known for a very long time. Jerry's been a big supporter of ours since way back in the day also. And so he's going to be talking about his new project called Seek, which is a project he's been working on for a very long time. I know he's been burning the candle on both ends with this thing. So it's good to have him on the show. It's good to talk to him about it. But before we have him on, let's talk a little bit about what we have going on in the next couple of weeks. Sam?
Oh yeah, can you believe that? It's just right around the corner. It's crazy. We got Catch the... Oh, that's PowCon. That's not Catch the Crazies.
Well, that's coming around too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, PowCon. Yeah, so Catch the Crazies, issue number 3 on Kickstarter.
Right.
Currently, we have 16 followers. We want to get as many more as we can. We want to... The goal for this campaign is 100 backers. Are you going to be one of those 100 backers? Are you going to support the crazy? You held off on issues 1 and 2. Now you have all 3, and it's your chance to get caught up and get all 3 issues. And if you're part of that day one campaign, if you're there on day 1 and you pledge to get that bundle, what do they get, Georgie?
So what they're going to get is they're going to get a great incentive, which is the 3 issues 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna get those automatically, 3 PDF, all that, right? You're also gonna get a sticker of our logo, the logo that you see on the mic right there, right? So you're gonna get that. But what happens with these comics is that they're not just the regular covers that you're getting. You're getting special covers, and what makes them special is that one is hollow foil, one is gold, and one is silver. Now these are limited edition covers. They're never going to be printed again after our first run, which we're thinking is going to be about 200, right? So you're going to get that. What you're also going to get is they're going to be numbered from 1 to whatever it is the limited run that we decide is going to be, will be. So if you are the first pledger on that first day, you're going to get book number 1 of 200, 250, whatever it is, that print run. It's never going to be printed more than that many times, so you're going to get that book. If you are the 5th person to pledge, you will be number 5 of that print run. Now, you're also going to get a certificate of authenticity that says that you were that pledge when you got the book. How do we do that? Behind the scenes, Kickstarter puts a number next to your name when you become a pledger. So we have a list of the names of the people who pledged. Next to it will be your number. we are going to be printing that out on a certificate of authenticity so you see that you were that number. There are no gimmicks. There are no fakes. We're not just giving the #1 book to a person we like. We're not keeping it for ourselves. I'm boring Sam. But we're going to put that in the book so that you have it. So that is the reason to be the first pledger or in the first day pledge, because after that, God knows what number you'll be.
Yes. You're going to be somewhere.
You're gonna be some number.
Yes. So help us. We really, the first campaign, we exceeded 100%. And the second campaign, 250% or whatever. And now we really want to go after people. We want more people to support the campaign. And because the more people that read it, hopefully they share it with their friends and they want to get involved and they want to read it, and that's our goal. So we really want to go after that 100 backer. That's our goal. And
right.
So join us and join us the day of the launch, April 29th. I think 7 p.m.
April 29th,
7 p.m. We're going to be live. We're going to be live, and a chance to actually win some stuff. But we want to be live, and we want to see pledges during that live show. So we're going to be watching the screen. We're hoping we're going to get backers that day. So we want you to be able to support us.
Yeah, we're going to go live during the show. Maybe an hour into the show we'll go live, maybe like around 8 o'clock, just to get everybody a chance to come on and then do what they got to do. We're gonna have a good time. So you definitely want to subscribe to the channel right now. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. Make sure that you comment, like, and do all of that stuff, so that you are aware of the fact that we will be live on April 29th.
Yes.
That is just a few days away. So it's coming. And make sure that you follow the launch page.
Yeah. Follow the launch page. Follow us. Follow the Olympic Road.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam needs some sleep, man. You're
Yo,
right.
I don't
know if you're gonna make it, kid. You're not gonna make it.
No. I was like, why did I schedule that 9 o'clock call? Yes, I'm like, oh snaps.
Snap is right.
This man is tired.
And
I have so many things I have to get done. So it's just like, I'm exhausted. You exhausted.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. There is so much to do, so little time. But here we are, and we are happy to have our guest on the show who's not here yet, but we'll be talking to him in a little bit.
Yes.
Also, as far as Forbidden goes, that stuff's going to be coming in within the next, I would say, maybe couple of weeks. I was hoping to have everything back from the printers this week, so I could start shipping them out next week. I just contacted one of the the printers to find out what's the delay with my books. And because I should have had it, but received it by now, and it still says in production. And the stickers are in, right? The stickers are in, the bookmarks are in, and the posters are here. The only thing that I'm missing are the books. And then the hollow foil gold and all that stuff, I still haven't heard back from the printer. That was sent off to the printer on Monday. It is now Wednesday, so I'm just waiting to hear back. I don't know how long that turnaround is because there's no correspondence. This is a shadow printer. It was a recommend from a friend of a friend of a friend, and so you just dump stuff in a Dropbox, and then somebody says give me access, and that's all you hear. So I haven't received an invoice. I haven't received anything, production timeline, nothing. So I'm in the dark right now. It's crazy. Right, well, that doesn't sound too good. No. But yeah, let's see how that goes. But the project was fully funded, and hopefully we'll be able to get all that stuff out to you right away. Big shout out to Jason Salazar, who yesterday was on a show, or a couple of days ago, because we're recording this now, but we'll air it on the 18th, was on a show and said that he got his t-shirt from Forbidden. So he did. Shirt, yeah. Yes. Jason awesome. Salazar. Yes. Thank you very much for your support. Your t-shirt, hopefully it fits nice. And thank you for the support. So yes. That was nice to hear. So he did get the t-shirt. So outstanding. Yeah. So he needs to take a picture of that stuff. Because he should have received it in somebody else. And Jonathan Syfax is George will be delivering that one. Yeah. Special treatment. Because there was 3 people that got the shirts.
And
yeah, big shout out, and thank you very much for all the support that we had on Forbidden on a platform like Indiegogo, which was a tough platform to crack.
It was a fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
which is why it's coming to Kickstarter. It's coming back to Kickstarter.
It's like I went up the block with like my boys, and then I turned around, my boys dipped, and I'm standing there, and it's like the Ducky Boys from the Wanderers. I'm like, oh, I had to fight my way out. It's like, oh, well, it's like the Warriors had to fight my way back from the Bronx all the way to Brooklyn. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. No. It was done though. It was done. And everything should be on its way. As soon as everything comes back from the printers, we'll get that out to you. But,
yeah, the posters look great. The pinups look great.
Nice.
The first round of bookmarks were horrendous.
Really?
Yeah, they were horrendous. The cut was off. It was bad. I gave them a bad review.
Gotta make sure.
The second round is on its way here, so I'm waiting to see the quality of that. I don't want to send you guys garbage. So now it's just a matter of just getting the books, and as soon as I have it, you'll have it. It'll be off in the mail, and you'll get the update from me. So look for that update, and it'll be in your hands. And I want to get it to you before the end of this month. So that's why I exceeded my deadline.
That's right. That's right.
I beat it.
And then so April 29th we have the Crazees Kickstarter launching, and then in May, at the end of May 29th, a month later, we will be at the POW Comic Con in Wayne, New Jersey. So we will be there. We're going to have a panel, a podcasting panel. So you want to make sure that you're there on Saturday, because that's when our panel will be. I mean, you should be there both days, but definitely on Saturdays when our podcasting panel will be. And then a month later, or not much later after that, the second Kickstarter for
the first Kickstarter for Forbidden, the second campaign for Forbidden, but it's going to Kickstarter. I'm moving it from Indiegogo to Kickstarter, and this one's going to be dope. I'm really going to be working on some cool stuff for this Forbidden one to really amplify and try to get. And I'm hoping that all of you who backed me on Indiegogo follow me to, and you like the book enough that you'll follow over to Kickstarter, because it's going to be a really wild ride. The art is off the hook. The colorist is doing her amazing job. And the story just pops off from that point on. And the goal is, if I can get it all colored, all 100 and something pages done with that Kickstarter, the follow-up will be the trade paperback. But the goal is, if I can fund all those things before then, I could do the trade. If not, I'd have to do a third one to continue to fund getting the coloring done before I do a collective. So hopefully that second one is off the charts too, but right now the focus will be the Crazies. So we need you to support us on backing Catch the Crazies. And I see that our guest is in the waiting room, so we're going to bring him in. Let's bring Jerre in. Let me go to guest. Bong.
You are listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Jerry, what's going on, my brother?
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
I know, dude. It's been a very long time. So
I'm seeing Lucille Ball and Ricky Ricardo.
Catch the Craze, and we're here with Jerre Winsborrow, and we're going to be talking about his Kickstarter today, which is for his book Seek, one of many. Jerre, you've been busy, bro. You've been very, very busy. So for everybody who doesn't know who Jerre Winsborrow is, just give us a quick, who is Jerre Winsborrow?
Jerre Winsborrow, independent comic book creator. I fell in love with comics since I was a kid. I've been drawing and creating stories my whole life. When I discovered George Perez and John Byrne, back in the 70s, late 80s, early 80s, that's when I've been, drawing my whole life. But when I discovered comics, that's when I realized that's what I wanted to do, was create stories, using that medium.
That's right.
Nice.
Dude, I love the work you've put into this book, man. Like,
oh, thank you, bro.
I know you've been working on this thing for years.
It's killer. It's killer. I mean, the realism in the pages. It's like,
thank you.
Like, dude, man. So because we're promoting your book, and talk about how you created the story.
As far as Seek,
the influence, yeah. What was the influence behind it? And
well, I've always had a thing like for like bounty hunters. You know, I always liked that. And so I've been rolling that idea around for a long time. Actually, you know, I had the name since I was a kid, Seek.
Really?
Yeah. I was a friend of mine, and her name, she called herself Seek, which is an acronym for her real name, which the character's name is, but I don't want to give it away because that's my little gimmick throughout the book, where you almost kind of find out her name, but then it's like cut off for somebody to
That's nice.
I like that. You know, it goes back to like when people didn't know Wolverine's real name.
Yes.
So anyway, that's my thing. So, you know, I always like the idea of bounty hunters because they operate outside the law. Mm-hmm. You know, they are not, they're not constricted to the legal restraints that regular police have and things like that. So, you know, I was brewing this idea around for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I really couldn't tell you how the idea came, but I knew I wanted to do something about bounty hunters. Actually, you know, I'm sure all of us have this like thing about how, you know, in comics where bad guys always get away or they get out of jail and nobody does anything about it, you know. And, you know, I was influenced like by books like Gotham Central and Powers and, you know, books like that. So I came up with this idea, you know, of a bounty hunter who will hunt these supervillains down that have either jumped bail or wanted fugitives from the law. And it started out where it was just like her and maybe one partner. And then it just grew into like, now she has like 9 members on her team.
Wow.
And that just became about the models. Like, oh, you know, I want to put my friend in there. You know, oh, this guy looks cool. She looks great. You make a great bounty hunter. Before I knew it, I had 9 people. You know?
Yeah. Well, okay. So you mentioned something interesting here, Jerry. You mentioned the word models. Yeah. So for the listeners who don't know, tell us about your process and tell us what you mean by models. What are we talking about here when you talk about models?
So I started using models because I felt like unless you're a savant, and you know I'm pretty limited, that I really can't draw stuff out of my head completely. You know, and with comic books, a lot of people don't understand is you have a character, and that character has to be consistent through the whole book. You know, otherwise people are going to go, "Who is this?" You know, it doesn't look like the character from page 2. You know, that's hard. And so I found that, you know, seeing other people do it, I said, wow, that's a good idea. You know, maybe I should base my first I started, I should base my characters on real people.
Right.
So, you know, you have your friend or family and you draw it, kind of looks like that. But through my style and influences, everything looked like, all my characters looked like other characters, you know, the Invisible Girl or, you know, Peter Parker or whoever. You know, you kind of draw what you influenced by and studied. So I figured if I use live models, nobody's going to look like the model I used for Seek or Natalia Hyde or, you know, my other books. And I find also using a live model, like, you know, they'll move or they'll pose in a certain way that I couldn't create. You know, I couldn't draw. Like, everybody has their own body stance or how they hold a cup of coffee, you know, and that's something that it's little detail, but I think it means a lot when it comes through on the panel.
Yeah. No, that's cool. You use the model. Now, the other thing about the models is not just that you're using models and you say, okay, let me see. You actually go grab your camera and you have photo shoots. Yeah. Like on locations at the different locations where you're putting it. So there's a lot of photorealism inside of the book. So tell me a little bit about that process, or tell us a little bit about that process and what you do.
Like I said, I wanted for them to have their real feel and everything. So my process is like, I write a story, I thumbnail it, and I do my best to thumbnail 6 issues, at least a story arc, whatever it is, 4 issues, 6 issues. Because in the past, I've made mistakes where I stopped at issue 3, knowing there's more issues to come, and I'll take only photos for issue 1, 2, and 3, and then I got to call the model back because I didn't have a grip on the story. I couldn't finish it, so I don't shoot I don't shoot until all 6 issues are completed as far as thumbnails and story and plot. Okay, so then I like to shoot outside. Yeah. Because I like the natural daylight, but I shoot in the studio too. Then what happens is I work from my thumbnails, my storyboards, and the model will act out the entire book, the entire 6 issues or whatever it is, how many issues they're in. Yeah. And so, they'll act out the entire book. Takes, depending on the part, we'll just say the star of the book usually takes 4 to 5 hours. I usually shoot like 500 pictures. Man. Yeah. It's exciting and fun, but it's a lot of work, believe it or not.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
They have, like scene, I'll have a scene where, I bring all my props and tables and chairs, whatever I need. Okay, you're sitting here, you're drinking a cup of coffee, you're yelling at somebody, you're holding a gun, you're killing this person, whatever the case may be. And that's how I do.
Wow.
Yeah, and I do my best to take more than I need because I've made the mistake of taking less and going, oh man, I'm jammed up now. I need this. I need the model to do this or that. Right. And then, what I do is then I'll draw it, freehand or make it work.
Boy.
So was the idea of making the character a redhead because of your love for Lucille Ball?
No, that's a good question because there's a story behind it. Seek originally was a guy, and then I found a model. Well, I had the idea. I saw a picture of this girl in a leather jacket and boots and ripped jeans. I was like, wow, she looks cool. So in my mind, I had her as a brunette. I changed it from a guy to, a female. And then my first model for Seek was a redhead. I met her. I said, why would you like to do this? And, that look is cool. You don't see too many redheads. Right. And that fell through after like issue 1 and 2. Oh. The model dropped out on me. So I scrubbed, and then I started working on Natalia Hyde. Then I discovered my model, Serafina, for Seek on Instagram. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. She looks great. She looks, she fits the part perfect. So, I wrote her, sent her a proposal. She accepted, and,
And that's it. The rest is history. Yeah. And now she is the model for the entire.
Yes.
So how much of it have you gotten drawn?
Okay, so I have issues 1 to 6 already written out, plotted, and everything. Issues 0, 1, and half of number 2 drawn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
All this time, actually, what I've been doing is, because of the COVID and everything, I've just been drawing everything, all my books, trying to get them in the drawer. So I have 2 issues of Natalia Hyde, 2.5 issues of Seek, two issues of Night War, Violent Dogs, and all of them. So what happened, I figured, I'll get all the art done because that's the hardest. Right. And then, 1 at a time, I'll launch them.
Yeah. We were talking about it with Sam. It's so photorealistic, right? It almost looks like you basically are taking the photograph, doing stuff to it in Photoshop, and then that's the so how are you drawing this to look so much like what we're seeing on the
It's like an organic process. Usually I turn the photo into line art.
Okay.
So it gives me that basic form, right. Because I don't want it to look so photorealistic. Like, I'm sure you've seen books where, it really looks like, almost like a sketch or, it has that. My thing was I wanted to look photorealistic, but I also wanted to have that comic book feel.
Yeah.
The heavy inks, the details, things like that.
Yeah.
So I turn it into line art, and then I draw from that.
And do you do all the coloring as well?
Yeah, well, that's another story too. Because I didn't want to do color. My idea was black and white's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But coloring is unbelievable. So I had this girl from Australia contact me saying, if I need any help. So I hired her to color seed. I gave her some sample pages. It was amazing. I said, holy shit, how can I can't go back now.
Right.
It looks amazing.
Right. You got to color it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was coloring and things fell apart. She was, I don't want to badmouth anyone, whatever, but it was like, I just asked her to change one thing and it kind of like just fell apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I would say, but I was going to make it work. And she would send me pages 2, 7, and 8. And I'm like, well, I'm missing these other pages. Can you send it to me again? So I was like, forget it. But I'm like, I really have to have it in color now.
Right.
Yeah. Now I got to color it.
I had to learn to color.
Wow.
Yeah. Right on the spot. I watched 100 YouTube videos, on how to color.
Oh, man.
And I gave it a shot, I didn't try to get cute with the coloring. I just figured basic, her hair is red, her jacket is black, that type of thing,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get, what's the word, super creative with it and abstract.
Right.
I just wanted basically the basic colors for that book because it's kind of like my homage to the old 1970 books and 80s, where the colors were kind of basic.
Right.
Yeah.
Flat. So that's what I was going for. So I had to learn to color. I had to learn to read letter because the program that I used for Natalia Hyde wasn't working. So I started lettering on Clip Studio Paint, and it's, a whole new ball game. So I had to learn to read letter.
Jeez.
And, that's a drag letter.
Yeah. Listen, and for everybody watching right now, definitely go to the Kickstarter that's live right now for Jerre Winsborrow. Just type in Seek on Kickstarter or hit the link on the below, and you'll go right to the page. But also follow him on Instagram at pyramid_graphic_novels, because you have I like your content in there because there's a lot of before and after stuff that you show of the process of what we're talking about.
I always love that, so I like to show that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And Pyramid, PYRAMID_graphic.
A lot of people, I don't know, they have a stigma about using reference or models. I mean, the greats have used models, from the beginning of time. Norman Rockwell, Alex Ross, Ali Believe.
We had Buddy Scalara, who made a living of shooting these. Remember those those CDs that you could buy with photo references in the CDs?
I have.
Right? So he made a living. So there's definitely, that's definitely something that a lot of people, and it helps with the lighting, all that.
Exactly. Unless you're a savant and you can draw out of your head. You ever see this artist, Kim Jong-lee?
Oh, yeah. He's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable, right? Come on. But I can't do that. You know what it is, too? It's not just about trying to draw it out of your head or whatever, or using Google reference. We have 9 to 5s, and time is a big deal. And I don't have time to draw 23 pages. I mean, I've taken long enough,
right?
That I figured especially like I was saying to you before, the consistency of having the characters look the same, and unique.
Yes.
Right. Now, so the idea of putting these photo shoots together, Jerre, did that come out of necessity? Was that like a thing of like, I need to speed this thing up and I need it to be consistent? So you know what? The best thing to do, let me put these photo shoots together. Is that how it happened, or how did that happen? Well,
basically, I discovered that, of course, you guys know Brian Michael Bendis, right? Avengers and DC guy. He published self-published books years ago. One is called Jinx, right? And he drew it. He wrote it and drew it, and he used live models to draw from. His style was a little looser, but you can tell that the characters really had this distinct look, unique look, that they didn't look like anyone else. And I bought the, trade paperback, and he wrote about it. And I was like, wow, that's a great idea. But I dismissed it. And then, like you said, when I was drawing Natalia Hyde, actually not Natalia Hyde, in Masti 8, that was all out of my head.
Yeah,
with some reference, Google reference and everything. And, as I looked through it, the characters kind of look different, and the poses aren't so great or whatever. But mainly it was, like you said, necessity. I mean, it took me forever.
Yeah.
And I figured this will speed it up. And it does.
It does. I was going to ask you, does it? Like, is it really? Yeah. Okay.
I don't have to worry about how do I draw a shotgun, or how do I, draw somebody talking, having a cup of coffee. It's just done. Yeah. And like I said, I can only draw somebody drinking a cup of coffee so many ways. But a model is going to bring that little extra something that I could probably never draw or come up with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing with expressions or stances or, things like that.
Yeah, I think the animated movie Fire and Ice, I think they painted over live people.
Remember that old movie,
yes.
American Pop?
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
and as a kid, I didn't know they did that. So I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Right. Yes. Yeah. You learn that when you look at the behind the scenes, and you find out later down the road, like, oh, so you have a lot of firsts, on learning how to, to color and learn all these other stuff. And now this is your first campaign?
Yeah, my first campaign.
So what was that process like for you?
Again, from scratch. Everything is from scratch. But I'm grateful now. All of that's out of the way. I know how to color a letter, know how to set up Kickstarter. And, George, I appreciate your advice. I know I was hitting you up 100 times.
Yeah, dude, anytime, like I told you, anytime you need anything like that, whatever I know, I will pass on. I don't care.
Listen, my wife and I were talking about you, how when we first met you at the Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
And you told us about the scanner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
We always remember that.
Holy cow.
Nobody would tell me, and I paid like a guy like $500 to scan my book in Masti 8.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guy out in Long Island. And then George is like, yeah, you can buy one for, half the price or whatever.
Like an 11 by 17 one.
Yeah, I had the Mustech.
That's what I have.
Yeah. Mine. I had 3. They all broke down on me. But yeah.
I had 2.
Yeah.
So Jerry, you started out when we first met back in the days. You were doing everything by hand, typically. Very traditional 11 by 17 piece of paper.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you've moved on to the Wacom tablet. Like, tell me about that change, because that must have been
same thing. Necessity.
Yeah.
I love traditional. I love the paper. I love pens and pencils. I would go to Pearl Paint just to pick out 2 pencils.
Yeah.
That was a great feeling.
Yes.
Or Michael's or whatever. And again, necessity. I'm like, how many times have you guys you spilled the bottle of ink on 2 pages?
Oof.
Yeah.
And not only that, I hate to say it, but my eyes were kind of given. And drawing those panels, 3 by 5 panels it was getting to me, especially because I'm a detailed artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I discovered the Wacom and how you could zoom in and, draw every single detail, which has kind of been my downfall, but I'm a little better now.
Right.
I was like super excited. I'm like, wow, I can draw the button. And, I'm drawing the buttons on her jacket. And, when you zoom it down to the comic book size, nobody knows, nobody cares.
Yeah. Now, will you ever go back to traditional?
I think so. I've thought about that. And maybe when I catch up, maybe when things are going along, I hope to, or do both.
Yeah. Maybe covers or something like that, just to have an original art of the cover. Because now they're doing digital original art or whatever, but that's a big thing now that's coming.
But as far as the coloring and lettering, it's the digital saved me. First of all, I can't color, but doing it on the Clip Studio Paint, it really helped.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I colored the book in like 2 weeks, not even.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Jerry, and you know what? I'm excited about it because first of all, it came out. You released it on the 12th, April 12th. I thought it was gonna be April 13th. I got the email. I was like, oh, it's out already. But that's how that works. So I love the fact that you had the launch page, because the launch page really lets people know that that book is coming.
Oh, I got that idea from you.
Yeah, no, that was very well executed. Very well executed. Because as soon as I got that email, I was like, oh shoot, it's out, and it was early. So, and that's the beauty of a Kickstarter. We talk about Kickstarter versus Indiegogo all the time, and I think that Kickstarter just has it, down.
I agree.
But what I also love is that you were funded in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
How amazing was that, man? Tell us about obviously the hard work that went behind the scenes. Did you do a lot of promoting before it? How did you get that?
Well, I have a website, but it's still a work in progress. I like to really devote more time to it, but I can't. But Instagram for me is like my main platform.
Yeah.
I mean, people could say whatever they want, but I love Instagram. And I've been basically promoting for years, building it up.
Oh yeah.
And discovering Kickstarter, I was like, wow, I'm going to give this a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the goal. You didn't go too crazy with the goal. You're like, let me start here. You know what I mean? And now you've unlocked the stretch goal. So that means that everybody gets a trading card. So make sure you go on the website. Make sure you go on Kickstarter and pledge, because you're at 1,086 as we speak. 41.
Yeah, over 200%.
Over 200%, and you still have 27 days.
I launched early just to help maybe some family and friends. How does it work?
Oh, gotcha.
Type thing. And I figured then by morning I'll have some things going on, and
Yeah, no, it worked.
I forgot that when you launch, everybody who signed up notified.
Yes.
They get notified. I was like, oh, all right.
But it worked. It worked because I got notified, and right away I went on there and I was able to just pledge. You know what I mean? So it definitely.
Now you're going to be in the book.
Oh yeah, now I'm gonna be a bad guy in the book. so at the $60 level,
yes,
you get to be a villain in the book.
It was limited to 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna do more, but this is new to me, and I didn't want to get overwhelmed. I had some people complaining to me that I want to be a bad guy too.
No, I can't see, because I can't wait to be part of that process. I love the process that you have going on, and I can't wait to be part of that.
I have
process.
A character picked out for you already.
Oh, look at that!
And he has a big part too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
And he kills. I shouldn't say anything. I just blew it. He kills
Damn it! Oh,
yes. You heard it first on Catch The Craze.
See, I can't keep a secret.
But Jerry, so what's next? So we had this Kickstarter going on, and not to move too far ahead, but this is for issue 0. Is this going to be an ongoing series? And I think I asked you that on Instagram, but just so everybody else knows, is this going to be an ongoing series, or how are you working it?
I have, all my books, some of them are from just 0. I like the issue 0. My thing is with issue 0 is kind of like, I really don't tell an origin, but it's kind of like you get to know the character mainly through conversation.
Okay.
Just like with Seek, there's some action, of course, but a lot of it, how you get to know the character somewhat, is through the conversation she's having with the police. Seek is going to be 0 to 6, and ongoing. Then I've already plotted out issues 7 to 12.
Oh wow. Yeah. Nice. I mean, I love it, man. You are doing so much work, and then you have all these other books that are going to be coming down the pike. Now, is that also going to be through Kickstarter? You think you're going to be doing them through?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. See, I mean, it's working. Not just as far as the money wise. It's just I really feel like Kickstarter is such a great new platform for independent creators just to get their work out.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting it on Indie Planet or whatever, and those things are great. I have Natalia Hyde and stuff on there.
Yeah.
But Kickstarter's blowing up.
Yes.
So I figured I'd jump on it.
Absolutely.
I was intimidated. I was a little intimidated,
We were too when we did.
Oh yeah.
We were.
It was a nightmare, but Yeah, when we first launched, we were we had an aggressive goal. The first one we did, so that was a little Yeah, what were we thinking?
I set mine pretty low. I don't really have to pay anyone. I'm lone wolf.
Yeah, it's true.
I just have 3 editors, and that's it. Basically, it's me. So I figured I'd start off with a modest goal, and hopefully I'd meet it. And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
And you have 27 days left, so the sky's the limit. Yeah. The sky's the limit.
Yeah. I'm hoping you blow past that thing, because I'm looking forward to what other stretch goals you may have planned for it. So I can't wait to see that.
Well, since it's just a big team, my idea was maybe to do trading cards of the whole team, so people will get to know the other characters, because I introduced the other characters, in issue 1 and 2 and 3. So this way, they'll get to know all the characters, bad guys too, including now you're going to get a trading card.
Oh, why even get a trading card, Snazzy? You see that? That's awesome.
He's official.
I'll be in 2 books. I'll be in 2 books now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and then
great.
I'm going to do maybe some bookmarks and a poster. I think I put the poster up on Instagram. She's holding the 2 big guns.
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome.
The caption's going to be, "This ought to do it."
Nice. That's great.
Nice.
Jerry, listen, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm happy that you're doing this. Much success to you. And when you have your others that are coming down the pike, let us know, because we'll have you right back on here and we'll talk more about your stories.
My next one is Violent Dogs. That's like a crime thriller.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm relaunching Natalia Hyde. You guys see.
Yes, I have.
And then, the others. And then Seek number 1 and number 2.
Forget about it.
And
hopefully when everything gets back to normal, we'll be able to hang out again.
Sounds good.
Do it live.
Yes.
But I'll see you soon, because I'm going for that photo shoot. So I'll be.
Yeah, definitely.
Make sure you shave.
Jerry.
All right. So.
All right, Jerry. Thank you so much. Hey, listen. Tell your wife I said hello.
I will.
You got it.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Buddy.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So that was Jerre Winsborrow, and his campaign is on a link below. It's already over 200% funded. 27 days to go. Show the brother some love.
Right.
And speaking of love, give us some love, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, right? And give us a thumbs up if you like this episode. Let us know. Share it with a friend. If you want to promote your book there's an easy way to do it. Promote your campaign on Catch The Craze. And here it is. There's the information right there. The link is below. It takes you directly to the website, and you can actually pay on the spot and send us your promo, and we will promote you. With that said, that was another episode of Catch The Craze. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out Jerry's book. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we is